Hey there, beautiful Leo. Leo Nation. My guides have been saying that lately. Um, this is Mary Ellen. Thanks for stopping by Moonrise Cottage for your May 2019 Soul Cycle reading. So this month, like you, I continue to evolve. I'm rolling out the readings. There's a lot of chatter going on in my head from my guides. Just to let you know, my guides have asked me to do the soul cycle readings, put them out first, and then immediately do the soulmate reading so that they come out as companions so that folks can get some continuity and take a look at both. So if you're here and you're cross watching, make sure to do that for yourself and your partner or the person you have your eye on. My guides are saying, ooh, maybe that's a little prophetic statement. So Leo, it's going to be a wonderful month. We are all challenged, the Pluto stuff with Uranus and in Taurus and Neptune. It's my guides are saying it's squeezing me hard. So there's the next card. I promise I'm gonna go through these with you. So just a brief dip. If you haven't looked at your astrology, go to your most trusted astrology person. Really understand yourself and your chart and the way the energy is moving you forward. So this month in May, the new moon that happens on the 4th is in your 10th house. Career, social standing. My guides are talking about your community within your profession and within your life generally. And I think that's because Mars, in the first couple of weeks of May, I believe, if I'm correct, Mars is going to be in your 11th house. So it's a powerful month for all things like that. I have an incredible sister who is a Leo and has just been through some really intense transformational stuff having to do with job and career. It felt hopeless for a while, but you know what? I did her tarot reading. She's the king of knowledge, and she is a kick-ass executive, and she's got so much in her brain. And so anyway, she got separated from a job after a lot of disrespect. And I don't know why my guides want me to tell this story. So it has something to do with some of you. This is a woman who walked into a company. Ooh, there's the next card. Look. Ha! I was just talking about the king. Thank you, Spirit. Actually, it goes like this. She built $10 million worth of revenue. Brand new revenue stream through a department that she created, ran, hired, organized, etc. And hijinks ensued. People were acting crazy. So she found herself laid off, which was just, I don't know how that company's going to stay in business because nobody else can run the department that she created. So good luck to them. And that was kind of when I did her cards. That was kind of the message. So I guess that has something to do with at least some of you since it's a general message. And, 10th house highly activated, 11th house highly activated. On the 7th, Mercury comes in to the 10th house, and on the 16th, Venus there. So there's a potential for a lot of movement in your career aspects. And so if you are going through, there's the next card. If you're going through, oh my God, Leo, some difficulty, never fear. All right, let's jump into it. This is the card that indicates the message that my guides want to speak with you about. With you, for you, and to you, they're saying. That's the Sun card in traditional tarot. And we see someone who has gone through a vast transformation, a lot of growth, and has emerged standing in the full light of the sun with an enormous amount of abundance. See the apples, full light of the sun, transformation, that's what the purple's all about, marked now. And standing on the, at the sacred places within yourself that you create when you become the king of knowledge, like my sister did. And you protect the information, the sacred lore that goes along with this kind of a transition, this kind of an evolution. And the sun in all its abundance, and there's signification of the apple tree, similar things, standing on the sacred ground of the ancients, the spiral of destiny is turning. And there's a story. This has to do with you, or at least some of you. This is a sacred dialogue about the knowledge that you've gained and about who you are and where you are. and it's about destiny coming forward. So we see again the turning of the spiral, the triple spiral: life, birth, death, rebirth. It's a story about a young man who was the son of a sacred wisdom holder, part of the lineage. He was out in the world, like guys are saying, playing and having fun, learning about himself, having his young man's adventures. And his father died, and he had to travel home and take up the chair and the scepter. And he was terrified. He didn't feel ready. And basically, the guides are telling him this is a wisdom holder that came to see him to have a dialogue about the knowledge that he did hold. So this guy, the Spirit's calling him a kid. This kid put on a fake beard, tried to look older because of his fear. And basically what the elder said to him is, don't be afraid. You're not expected to know everything right now. Of course you're young. You're learning. This is your sacred path. You have your power in your hand. You're going to do just fine. So the young man pulled off the beard, after this conversation, and said, hey, I'm not ready. I can't handle it. I'm really afraid. And asked the elder to come sit in the chair and be his tutor. The elder said, sure, I'll do that, and sat in the chair, held the scepter, and said, okay, I have a pronouncement, and the pronouncement is, you're coming back to sit in the chair because you have shown yourself to be honorable and ethical and honest and vulnerable, and that means you are ready. So that's how that story went. So there's something perhaps going on in your life in general, in your career perhaps, since that's the topic, in a sense, given the astrology. Movement is happening. You are going to be growing into the fullness of your ability. You are going to have some help. There may be a mentor there. Please trust yourself. Please know that you've come. See, here's the king. That's what my guides are sort of talking about before the cards even come out. So you've grown to the position you need to grow, and from there you can take the next step. If you need a mentor, my guides just said manifest one. Right? Don't be afraid to ask for a mentor. And if you get any crap about that, you're not sitting in the right place. So they keep talking about my sister. I think because it's a general story about a Leo. In the end of that crazy madcap story, what happened was she began to learn about her worth because there were many dozens of co-workers, clients, people with whom she'd had contact in a business relationship. When they found out that she had left the company she was at, first of all, they were enraged. And she found out afterwards that a lot of the clients were calling the company, screaming at them. And, they were trying to save money because she was well paid. And nobody in that company could sort of look at the balance sheet and say, okay, let's see. This person earns us $10 million a year, and that sector is growing. So we should give her a raise and a promotion. And, life, right? Pluto, there's things going on causing us to transform. And she got a lot of accolades. And she kept hearing it over and over and over, and it kind of blew her mind. And that's the process you're going through, because on the human walk, we see destiny turning, and we see this notation of going through a journey in order to recapture your vibration, to recapture that which is sacred to you. And my guides are telling me to do this. You see how the journey goes? You're going to emerge. If you're going through difficulties, you're going to emerge. And part of the adventure that you're going on, you might be choosing your path. This would be related to, it's different because it's Soul Tarot, but it's related to the Seven of Cups. In this deck, art is about love. So go and seek out that which you love. And my beautiful sister went on a lot of sort of high-level interview type meetings, and she was, there was like a bidding war that happened in the end over her. And, again, we did another consultation, and basically the message came through: do not do anything that you don't love 100%. So she ended up working with a woman that she went to grad school with, and she's very happy. She works for a worker-owned company. There's a woman at the helm. She's brilliant and forward-looking, and all the things that somebody would want when you have the type of talent base that my sister does as an individual. So she's awesome, and she had to go through this. It's funny because her process with this just finished, and now the guides are talking about month of May. Just to let you know, trust the process because there's a lot of power on the table. So there's going to be a change, perhaps. You may be initiating the change because you are going on the adventure. You may be having a lot of offers, and you have to sort of stand and look at which one do I want, like the Seven of Cups does. So let yourself breathe. Listen to your internal leading. Know that you're standing in the light of the sun, and go toward that which makes your heart sing. My guides are saying, recapture your vibration, walk home with it. That's what he had to do. His instrument was stolen. He had to go find it and get it back. And the way he did it was by chanting and praying and using the internal energy to cause the instrument, a reflection of himself, to vibrate and rise through the air and come home to him. So it's a really beautiful unfolding. And then this adventure continued, and the parallels are really kind of exciting here to me, with a family member going through this. He then transformed. The transformation was from this to this. That's the king of skill, king of wands. Rising up to the top of your game with your passion. No more battles for this guy. His shield is on the wall behind him. Okay, he's got a very humble look about him, but he's an extremely powerful man. He has come through a journey. You see the ocean in the background? Let me show this to you. And what he's doing is making shoes because he's stepping into the next part of his life. He's going on a journey. He knows an adventure coming forward. And there may have been some battles, but he's past them now. And he's standing in his place, standing in his power. And next to that, we see a major arcana card. The Mingler, the sacred alchemist, the Mingler of energy, the sacred goddess Coventina, who puts her whole attention on your vessel with love, with compassion, and with entire dedication. Do you see the portal in the bottom there? Their energy rising up through the universe. The universe literally has you in its hands because it's time for you to step forward with your power, Leo. That's really beautiful. Do you see the energy? Oh gosh, the sun. It's the light coming off the window. So that vessel, let me see if I can move it, has bubbles coming up out of it. Okay, that's you in your transformative state, in this alchemical moment. This is the bridge card that ties your human journey, your experiences, the thing that Spirit wants to talk to you about, your human journey, to your soul, what your soul's doing, why you're having this walk. Did you ever ponder, why am I having this human walk? If you believe what a lot of people believe, it's because you agreed to come here to have an adventure, and you're having it in the midst of this massive shift and change with Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, all the stuff going on in the world. Okay, and it's what we're all doing. We're meant to master our energy in 2019 because there is massive shift and change coming forward 2020, and it's time for us to buckle up and get ready. So Leo, look at that, a new foundation. That's where the king's going through this alchemical moment. This is what ties this journey to the soul intention. It is the foundation of skill, working directly with fire energy, looking into the mystery of the moment and forging something new, literally creating something new by standing in the fire, standing in the intensity of the moment, completely open from the waist up, available, vulnerable, strong in your vulnerability. You got the tools you need. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. That's a my guides are saying, now that's a warrior. Right? Absolutely. Whether you're a man or a woman, don't get stuck on gender. We're talking about energy set points, okay? So Spirit, tell us about the soul journey, please, for this beautiful month of May for gorgeous Leo. There we go. Woo, okay, moon cycles coming through. I love this. Again, look into your astrology. See what's happening with the moon cycles this month. There's the king of battle. And you see the king of skill, and I was talking about his shield is hung on the wall. I love that this is here as a representation of the soul matters at hand. So the king of battle, you see how he's got a silver hand? My guys are talking about Game of Thrones. You know, if you watch Game of Thrones, there's a character who has his hand severed. So the king of battle fell off his throne, was forced off his throne because in a battle he did lose his hand. And according to the custom and the lore, you weren't allowed to be sitting on the throne if you weren't physically whole. Interesting. So he went through a very protracted mystical healing, and his real hand grew back by some magic. It was in this sitting there in the magic of the full moon when the portal opened, and there's the portal. Quite a message coming through here. So his hand grew back, and he regained his power. And do you see how he's sitting in a cemetery? He had to go through his own birth, life, death, rebirth process in the symbolic way that was right for him. So clearly some of you are really going through this. And, you know, it might be your own process about what's going on with my career, doing what I love, what do I want, am I ready to retire, 10th house also rules retirement, things like that. So Spirit, give us the next card, please. Look. So there it is. Look, the shaper of growth, the sacred mother, sitting next to the king of battle. The sacred mother who brings you across the divide, delivers souls into their next lifetime, bringing with them all the bounty that they're going to need in order to have that adventure. So pay attention as I go through the cards, how the columns are lined up, what's going on across the rows. There's lots of information embedded in there. I don't do it in these general readings. You know, if you come for a personal reading, we go really deep into this, a couple of hours, so that we pull all the information out that's there. All right, let's get a card for the last part of the soul cycle. What do you got for me? Look, oh my gosh. Look at that. Another major arcana, the Rememberer of Lore. So, see that guy? Again, a reflection of this human journey on a soul level. This is really beautiful. This is the sacred bard in the mystical realm. And there's a story, many of you may know it, about this bard who would sit by the roadside and play his instrument, and people would be drawn to him. And their tongues would get stuck to his ear so that they could be bonded with the wisdom that was coming. So there is male energy all over this reading. It's really beautiful. So I think we're talking somewhat about the male part of you, whether you're a man or a woman, coming forward for this next phase of your development. And you may have to let something go like the King of Battle did. Something may be severed, but don't worry about it. Stick with the cycle. Stick with the story that you're seeing in these cards. And work with your energy, your spirit self, your soul level to accept the change that's coming, because it's really going to transform you in a way that is quite beautiful. So let's ask my guides, please give us an outcome card. And then we're going to pick from the bag of runes to give you some more energy. Spirit says, and send you on your journey, because you're definitely going. So I love hearing from you guys. Leave me some messages. Let me know what's going on in your life. Please do me the beautiful service. Okay, there's the card of clicking the like button for me. I really appreciate it. I've come to understand how much it affects a YouTube channel. It links up to the algorithm and all that kind of stuff that I don't totally understand. But it basically, the more likes you get, the more they show your video on the wide stage of YouTube. I didn't realize that that's how it works. So I do ask people now, please say thank you to me by clicking the like button. Just let me know that you're here. Okay, look at that, Leo. That's your card, literally. That is the sacred goddess of victory. She holds the sacred sword. It is an unbeatable weapon in her hand. She carries her soul across the divide, sitting on her knee. The ancient peoples in this tradition believe that the soul resided in the head. And so, we see representation of Leo the warrior, Leo the lover, the fun-loving, passionate person that you are. And what this woman did, this is a real person who existed in history. And she was a druid. Her family got slaughtered by the Roman army. And she raised an insurrection of, my guides are saying, of ragtag farmers, and went to battle with the Romans, and she won. And what she did was she brought a hare in a basket to the battlefield. When the armies were lined up, she opened up the basket and watched how the hare ran across the battlefield and used that as a divination tool. So, if you come to conflict in the ways that my guides have been talking about, if you have challenges, understand you absolutely have the ability to prevail. It's time to trust yourself. It's time to understand that you are the king of battle and the king of skill. And you are setting yourself on a new foundation. This journey puts you on a new foundation. And it is that foundation of skill. Think about the Six of Wands. Powerful card. Coming into this, riding into victory, basically, is what that's all about, isn't it? There's something happening. And it may be a transition within your life, within your job, within your heart, Leo, the lion-hearted. But you're going to be able to, whatever this challenge is going to come to you, it's going to feel like a challenge. But I think externally, people are trusting in you. They know that you have what it takes, and they're waiting for you to step up and be the king of skill. Go through this alchemical moment in order to help them create something. So, Spirit talking to me all about business and career. So, this clearly has implications for your personal life. Recapture, going on an adventure to recapture your own vibration, your own magic, your own ability to rise straight up to the top. Okay, Spirit, what's the room, please? This one. Yeah, look at this. Perfect. All right, so this is the room for partnership. Within the room for partnership, clearly there are two individual energies that cross each other in order to blend together and perform their function, my guides are saying. I'm going to read to you from the book, but there we go. Let's put it right there. I really do want you to contact me. Put some messages on the message board below, the thread. The comment section is what I'm trying to say. All right, so let's read about partnership. I'm curious to know if this is, my guys are saying love or money, right? Business or partnership. So this is partnership. It's the rune Gebo, G-E-B-O, and it is about a gift. Drawing this rune indicates that partnership in some form is at hand. In love relationships and business matters, in partnering of every kind, you are put on notice not to collapse yourself into that union. For true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness, even as they unite. Remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. So my guides are talking about this. That's what they're calling him a kid. That's what this kid was trying to do. He was trying to collapse himself because he was afraid and he didn't feel ready and he didn't feel like he deserved it and all those kinds of things. And it was by being willing to sit in a spot that was meant for him that he did get a sacred partner. And believe me, this man did mentor him. But he was the one who had the power, and it was just time to reveal it and allow him to understand that he was standing on a new foundation. And don't worry about it, we're here to support you. The goddess of alchemy. She does not show up very often in my readings, and when she does, I know it's a really powerful moment. So remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you and your partner, whoever that may be, and it might be you and you. At the same time, there's another aspect of partnership that you're being called to consider. For the path of partnership can lead you to the realization of a still greater union, a union with the higher self. You see this adventure that's happening? It's really beautiful. This is about union with the divine. The ultimate gift of this rune is the realization of the divine in all things. God, or the goddess, if you will, always enters into equal partnerships. Gebo, the rune of partnership, has no reverse position, for it signifies the gift of freedom, from which flow all other gifts. Ooh, it's getting me all choked up. Well, that's beautiful, Leo. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go work on your soulmate reading right now, and click the like button, share some of your story if you're willing, and have a wonderful month. I can't wait to hear about it.